Please welcome to the stage iGEM's president, Randy Rettberg.
Hi, thank you very much. I've enjoyed all the photos with all the people as they come up. I think this white hoodie is like a photo target or something. I thank you so much for being here, participating in iGEM. You do all the hard work, and we get to have all the fun here. I'd also like to particularly thank all of the iGEM staff and the volunteers, because there's so much effort behind the scenes that we hope you don't really see too much, right? If it's all goes smoothly. I'd like to thank our sponsors, our partners in particular, IDT, that provides so much DNA synthesis, synthetic DNA for the teams all over the world, to Twist, that also provides DNA to the teams and has provided DNA that we've used for the distribution kit. Asimov, who's provided the distribution kit itself and all the production and shipping of those distribution kits of DNA to everybody. To Ginkgo, that's helped in particular with the Design League and providing a way for those people to the best designs to be seen in the lab. And finally, the Cottrell Foundation, which has provided the impact grants that some of you have received, and also has provided sponsorship for the startups and the league program. So I'd like to thank all those partners very much. We keep on talking about 20 years, and I'd like to do a little bit of thinking, because we're sitting here, right, 2023, and we can think back 20 years, most of us, some can't, but pretty close. And so think about what the world was like back then. We didn't have big screens like this. DNA synthesis was like, that didn't really work very well. So it's kind of, we can imagine that. The cell phones weren't as good, right? Didn't have as much memory in any of our computers. Let's start with that, and now let's look forward 20 years. What's it going to be like? We don't know. You haven't made it yet, right? That's your job. So in 20 years, he'll probably be like 40 or something. And the world will have changed again. The screens will be bigger. There'll be more memory everywhere. Every internet connection everywhere will all be gigabit. You won't even think about it. Probably we won't have phones anymore. It'll probably be built into our glasses or plugged into our brains. So that part's all good. We know, we can imagine kind of the electronics version because we've seen that, and it has been succeeding for a pretty long time. Go back like 50 years. 50 years, about 1970, that's when I joined the internet, 1972. It was pretty big at that point. There were 25 computers. 50 kilobit, that's 0.00005 gigabit. That was the speed link. I had a teletype in my house at 300 bits per second. I was like privileged. So if you think about that and then you go forward 50 years, what is it like? What happens to biology? In 50 years, when you're kind of my age, we should have solved these problems. The disease problems, the genetic disease problems, the environment, the manufacturing problems. We should have it so that, as Austin said, we're surprised if we design something biological and it doesn't work. That's like a bug. But I'll tell you, the early integrated circuits, microprocessors, they would design them all up, fabricate them, and there would be bugs every single time, and they'd have to figure out what went wrong. That does not happen in any of the integrated circuits in your phone. It just works. And we have to be in a position where it just works. What else will happen? We don't really know, but you can kind of see. You think 20 years from now, we should be in a position where we are designing cells. We have our cells that were built by our industry. The industry should have expanded into the trillions of dollar region. Many, many of you will be billionaires, but a billion won't be as much as it used to be. But you'll be starting the companies, you'll be the professors, you'll be leading the institutions, you'll be running whatever iGEM becomes. And so all of that is in the future. And that future is going to be awesome and amazing. It should solve, in technology, lots of the problems. Because what we're really a part of here in synthetic biology is a very major revolution. You can think about, we had a revolution, the information revolution, and we're kind of in the middle of that. And that was something where, before that, everything was analog. And the idea that computers were needed seemed like a silly idea to the head of IBM. And once you got computers, they didn't talk to any other computers. So that all changed. We got to be good at information, and that was the information revolution. You can look back again. Look at the one before, the Industrial Revolution. What was that about? Trains, right? Steam engines. It was about energy. Before the Industrial Revolution, energy was your muscles, your animals. The Industrial Revolution changed all of that. And we're now kind of, a couple hundred years into that. We're in the information area, we're about 75 years in from when computers were happening. What happens with this next one? What revolution is this? Is this the biology revolution? It's really the matter, the molecule revolution. When we get to be good at this, we will be good at putting any atom wherever we want exactly, at very, very low cost in energy and right all the time. Biology does that on a regular basis. We just don't know how to do it. So that's what is kind of the bigger picture. So when you're working on the problem or the opportunity of the moment, that's a piece of where that will go. And then you're going to be able to tell your children and your grandchildren that you were there when it started. That's going to be really nice. So congratulations. I'm so happy that you're doing that. Let me tell you a little bit about some things that are kind of happening in iGEM in the future. The first thing is that we've grown. We started off with like 5 teams. Now there's 400, so that's a factor of 100 better over 20 years. So in the next 20 years, if it just grows the same way, we're going to have about 40,000 teams. 800,000 participants. We're going to need a bigger building. So those things can all happen. They'll change around. It's important to me that that happen all over the world. I'd be really disappointed if in the end there's the Google, Amazon, Ginkgo, big monolithic, $10 trillion worth company that owns it all. Or the idea that you got to go there and be like that in order to be successful. What I'd like to have happen is that there be millions of companies all over the middle of the world. And there'll be lots of people who will, work and build things and do things. You think about a lot of the things, the molecules that we make through fermentation. Is that distributed? People talk about, scaling up. I kind of wondered, did we do that with beer? With wine? Is there only one company, Heineken, that has the most gigantic containers and they make all the beer in the world? Who would want to live in a world like that? Not me. people all over have microbreweries. And why on earth did they do that? Probably the most economically advantageous way is do the centralized way. They do it because they want to. They like to make beer. Their friends have made beer for a long time. They have different feedstocks to make the beer from, different tastes in the community. In other words, different opportunities and different problems to solve. I think that's central to the future of synthetic biology, that there are many, many problems. Remember, we're going to become good at matter, and the problems that you have where you live are different from the problems other people have where they live, and the solutions can be different. And that creates the opportunity for there to be lots of people working and having good jobs and solving problems wherever they are. I think about a project from a team from Ghana where in Ghana there's illegal gold mining pits with very bad poisonous chemicals in them. And the team, out their window, there was one of those, and a small child had fallen into the pit and died. So they decided what they would do is work on the bacteria that would grab a hold of gold, clump together, make bubbles inside, and float to the surface. So you could do that kind of mining without the bad chemicals. That's not exactly a problem we've got here in Paris, but that's a problem they had. So this idea of solving local problems with local people using synthetic biology, I think, is a big part of the future that I want to live in. Another thing that's happening is we're rearranging iGEM. We've made these villages, and we're going to make the villages a bigger idea. My idea is that each village should have a mayor. Villages have mayors. So we have to get some people to be mayors of their environment or manufacturing village. There's a village council. iGEMers in a year or two will say which village they want to live in. And then they'll go live there, and things will be organized for all the iGEM teams in that village. Maybe special meetups, maybe special presentations. And then they'll be able to come here, and the village identity will be strong. Then at the end, I'll see if there are any authors that would like to write a chapter of a book about their village, about the problems, the opportunities, approaches that have been taken, what happened this year, and what they think about the future. And I'll put them all together and make a book. So there's a lot of things that will be coming in the future in iGEM, in your careers, and in the solution to the problems of the world. Right now, you're getting ready to graduate, many of you are pretty soon, and the world seems kind of scary. There's a lot of different issues. National walls seem to be going up, and it could be, it's hard to have hope. But synthetic biology is a source of hope because it's very powerful, and it will be wonderful for solving a lot of those problems. So you've got work to do. Enjoy today, and then go back and fix it all up. Thank you very much.